A dream that says you're meant to be here. Dreams awaken when the world stands still and your heart remembers what it feels. Hey everyone, this is Dreams Awaken, and this is your host of the show, Neetu Sherian, back with my colleague, and she is none other than PN Anvitha. So Anvita works in Bangalore, but she works in a very premier institute. I mean, she's my colleague, yeah. We work in IMBI's Innovations, that is NSRCell. So we are into startups, entrepreneurship, all these things. But today we are here with a different topic that Anvita is doing. She's doing something. As I put her LinkedIn picture in the post in the Instagram, she says she's a change maker. She's someone who wants to create a change. So let's hear from her. What is she doing? What is she and how did she reach IMBI? All these things. A very warm welcome, Anvita, to Dreams a Weekend podcast. And let me know how you're doing.
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. As we've been seeing each other like all these days in office, and suddenly online we're going like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel to be on this podcast whose name is Dreams Awaken, and how do you relate with this?
So, okay, let me just say, firstly, this is my very first podcast that I am part of, like a guest. Usually, I'm just hearing a lot of podcasts. Like I sit and listen to a lot of podcasts, um, random podcasts, mostly business, climate related, and stuff like that. But when you approached me for this, I was just thinking because all of the podcasts that I listen to are about people who have achieved things already, who have like had a lot of hard work that is already put in, and the results is already a lot of people like me who want to learn from all of those. But I did like get a chance to go through Dreams Awaken podcast, and it was like I was double thinking myself if I am uh, also like a right guest or something like that. But it I was just thinking that maybe there's somebody who is also like me right now, who is wants to do something, is in the process of doing something, but that is not yet in the limelight. You've not yet reached a spot where people will turn back and say that, oh, you've reached here. But yeah, I just maybe I would be relatable to at least one or two listeners. If that is the case, then yeah, why not?
So, this podcast is also in that journey where it's about people's dreams awaken, how people led themselves to the position that they are today, their career journeys, all those things, and what they're doing to the environment. I mean, you are into all these things, so I'm very much excited to hear from you. Like, what are you doing? Because we had a small conversation, and that got me to ask her for her date for my podcast. So that's where the conversation kicked in for us. And so let's begin from your educational backgrounds and your current position right now. How did you navigate from an engineering? You're an engineer basically. So how did you find
Yes, yes.
yourself? I went through your LinkedIn. I was stalking your LinkedIn. As usual, I stalk all guests' LinkedIn. I mean, there won't be any
Okay.
conversation between us. I just go through their LinkedIn in and out, and I get the stuff from there, then form my questions. And it's like a
Okay.
conversation that we do.
Okay.
So you have this request.
Okay.
So you say you can design websites. You're the cool girl. If I give my website, I know you'll just do it because I know how you guys work. Your marketing team is superb because that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you're this
Thank
person
you.
and you're into climate, sustainability, waste management, and you have an amazing experience session with so many internships and all these things. So let's hear from you. How did you reach marketing? Like, yeah, tell me about it.
Uh, okay. So marketing is something, I think marketing chose me than me choosing marketing. A very cliche thing to be saying, but um, during COVID, during my engineering, we also had COVID. So I think 2 semesters we didn't write exams at all online, and that 2 semester was like a time for me to sit and reflect. So I think like even before joining my engineering, my +1 and +2 marks was really bad. But I always wanted to like get into science and do something because I loved science. My mom wanted to become a teacher, and she always had that dream on me as well. Like when I used to teach somebody or like help my friends to learn something, she would always, say that, like, you have a very nice way of telling things, making things easy for people. So maybe you'd become a good teacher. And that made me think of me, okay, maybe I will become a teacher. This is what I thought when I was in my school days. um, but when I was almost finishing my plus one and plus two, I had really low marks. But that is, I was always a straight A student. But I don't know, it might be bad luck, or I don't know what happened. But basically the plus one and plus one I didn't study, but plus two I had studied. So but my grades were like very bad. um, and I didn't want to be doing teaching anymore at that point, because I googled what a teacher's salary would be, and it was very low. And I come from a very middle class background, and we're like very lower middle class background as well. So our dream is to always, like, stop the whatever we have at our level, and always go and, like, step up the ladder than go down or remain in the same level. So it's like seeing how and what are people doing to be like rich or famous was the other part. Like I was not very interested to become famous, but really wanted to become rich. I still want to become rich. But yeah, so that made me Google a lot of stuff and understand who are these rich people, how are they making money. And I got to know a lot of people who really make money are businessmen. Like there were a lot of categories, but I like businessmen. And then I started Googling what do businessmen do, like what are their backgrounds, how did they, like, start businesses. And for my, I don't know, like those times, like those times is just like 2019, 20, and all of that, or less than that, like 2018 and all of it. So I could see that a lot of people who were doing business were all engineers in some way. And I always loved science. There's always a thing for science in me. But and I knew I would do something in science, but I didn't know if I should be doing BSc, like the uh, thing where you don't really, like, I mean, I should not be saying anything like that, but a bachelor's in science or like an engineering degree. And at that point, I think it's also like a lack of education for me, like lack of, not education, lack of awareness to me, that what actually happens in BSc or what actually happens in engineering. What I got to know was engineering is more hands-on, and I love hands-on than to like just go and learn about stuff. I would love to go experiment, burn something, blow something up, and all of it. So that is why I chose engineering. But because of my really bad marks, I never really got into like my JE marks also didn't really help me anyway. All the exams that I wrote, I'm from Manipal basically, so we have MIT as a very good engineering college. But I couldn't clear that seat as well. So basically, I was in a place where I really want to become an engineer right now. But I don't have good colleges to go in. But there's also an advantage being in, at least in Karnataka. I don't know if it is an advantage or not, because the one thing that we have is engineering college in every gully. Like you walk or you travel for like maybe 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, you would still find any engineering colleges. So that is how I understood that I still can get into an engineering college, and I got into one. And thankfully I also wanted to like stay away from home, because I grew up in my home for all this, like until plus two I was all at home. And I really wanted to explore what a hostel life would be. And I had also researched a lot before, like I used to follow a lot of YouTubers who were doing their engineering but also doing YouTube and teaching about all the stuffs in 12th. So because of that I understood that, okay, this is how hostel life would be, this is how your normal, if you are a day scholar, would be. And I was always a day scholar, so I wanted to explore hostel life. So yeah, that is, I could also afford for it at that point, because of some scholarship that helped us in the right time. And that is how I went into engineering. And then the first year I wanted to like prove myself, to like prove something for myself, that I'm not a really bad student, I can actually get straight A's.
That fire in you
So I
was
think the first
there.
Yes, yes. So I think the first year I put my soul into learning, and I actually had like very good grades. Like my plus two marks was 75 percentage, and my first year the CGPA was 9 point something. I don't remember, but it was above 9 point, but not really great also. But nine is a very good
Very
CGPA to
good.
hold
Yeah,
in
yeah.
engineering.
Mm.
So uh, yes, and that happened. But when we were in our second semester, we got the like this COVID that hit us.
Mm.
Because COVID happened, and also during my first year, while I was also very much interested in studies, I also tried to explore anything and everything in entrepreneurship. If there was a paper presentation, if there was, uh, I don't know what competitions they had, but if there was a competition to go and pitch myself, I would be all in for it, even if I didn't know anything, because I was ready to make a fool of myself.
Mm.
And that is why I like, also when I went to the new college, I also shifted from my place, like from here to the hostel. I made myself clear that this is your new chance, like you'll have to start all fresh. Nobody knows you here, you can be whatever you want to be.
Mm.
So it's okay, like I and but there were people who know me from my previous college, but I
Mm.
didn't give a damn to that part, because I've not talked to them, and I was like, no, I have to do something here. So I started small things, like there's this small again website or like a platform that I was building. um, so it's basically, now that I think of, it's not really a great idea, but at that point I felt it was like a great idea, because
Mm.
so basically my brother is an artist, like he wants to become an artist, he
Mm.
wants to become a singer songwriter.
Mm.
And what any early artists lack is stage.
Mm.
They're not given the stage because they are not experienced enough, or they don't have enough portfolio to show you that
Mm.
they can get you an audience.
Mm.
So what I was doing is I was trying to I just heard about how SEO works and all of it.
Mm.
So I was thinking, if when people Google lyrics, because we all used to Google lyrics at that point.
Mm.
So when you Google lyrics, if you can also, like, if my website pops up with the lyrics, but also have like a song sung by an artist of the same song,
Mm.
and also have the artist profile. So the
Nice.
user comes for the lyrics,
Yes.
finds a new art,
Yes.
and
Got
also
it.
finds more about art. Yes.
Nice.
So I did it for three, four artists. Yeah, this is what
Okay.
I tried to do in the beginning.
So that is
Yeah,
how you
I
stepped
did.
into all this, right? The first step towards that was this.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that is something I started. Like, so
Okay.
before this, there's a lot of other random things that I was doing, but this is actually what I started. Like, I put it out to people. I put it out and showed, like, told people, like, this is what I want to be doing and all of it. As excited as a lot of people would be, they started giving me, the people started recommending more artists. I used to also, like, how you approach to me, the same way I used to approach to people
How
and
did you
ask them,
get people,
like,
like
do you?
online or offline, nearby?
So I started with, so I started with people that I already knew were like, wanted to become artists, wanted to sing, or
Mm.
just put their art out, but never like really getting a stage. So I used to find people like that. I knew people who were in my previous college, like my plus one and plus two,
Mm.
and they were like my friend's sister who sings.
Mm.
And then there was this random person on the internet who's like mutual connections and all of it.
Mm.
um, so yeah, I kind of worked it out for 3 4 artists at that point, like in 3 4 months. But again, like there's this so I didn't understand that it was really difficult for me to balance straight A's, and also, like, go and talk to a lot of people and get all of this, because I was doing all of it alone.
Mm.
uh I thought I would, like, get another person into my team or all of it, but I really didn't have a clarity. I just
Mm.
wanted to do
Got it. Mm.
something. uh, so I think it just like faded after like COVID hit, because
Mm.
after COVID hit, I was really sitting and thinking about, like, what do I really want to like continue what I'm doing?
Mm.
What is it that I really like and stuff like that.
Okay, so I
So
understand.
I think in COVID, yes.
Yes, so
No,
yeah,
no, no,
continue,
please
continue.
continue.
It's okay.
Okay, so basically in COVID that I sat and I was thinking that, I also started reading a lot of self-help books at that point, because I really wanted some kind of knowledge, and like
Mm.
I didn't want to waste those 6 months. I really hate wasting time.
Mm.
It's I don't know, like rest feels a very
Mm.
different thing for me. Like I don't know, maybe it is wired that way because when you are always bound to like perform for people, perform in the sense not like
Mm.
you always you become an expectation. Like when you are an expectation, you always feel like, oh, I have to do this much, I have to do
Mm.
that much, and
Mm.
resting always feels like a punishment for me.
Yes. Mm.
uh, so I think at that time, during the COVID time, I was just using all of those time to like sit and think if I should be really doing what I was doing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's like I understand that you are a very productive person who hustles a lot. Even now you're hustling, right? You do a lot of things. And that's a very, 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 what I say, what do I say? A very awesome thing when you look into a person, because the very first moment I got to talk to you, I was like, okay, this is something that I want for my podcast. People should know. I mean, that's how this podcast was also built. It's like a leadership lesson that we get in, because people have become a leader for themselves to lead themselves to an unknown journey, to an unknown destination, and they've reached somewhere. So that's how, I mean, you're here as my guest
Mm.
today. So going on, right now you're in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore's Innovation Arm, NSRSet. So that's an amazing feat that you achieved. So, what do you want to tell to the audience who are listening, who may be engineers also, who want to like try out something that's very different from their field? Like, how did you
Right.
reach here? Like, how was the journey? How was that journey like?
Yes. So there are these dogs
That's
near my
okay. I
home.
mean,
Fine.
I
Is
can
is
hear
that
you.
fine?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
great.
You're perfectly audible.
Okay. Okay. So actually, that was your main question in the previous or question as well. Sorry, I just skipped that.
That's fine.
So basically, I understood that I wanted to work in waste management during the COVID time. I like if I want to build something, also I want to be building in waste management in itself. Um, I have a small story for that, but I'll keep that to later. But that
Yeah.
is what I understood, that this is what I want to be doing, and that is why then I didn't sit for my placements, because
Oh,
once I fixed my mind, I started exploring how and where will I get jobs, or is there any job, uh, because it's a very new field for me at least, because um, when you become like when you are going into engineering, all you hear is like a corporate job, but
yes.
not really a job into development. Actually, development sector in engineering field is not heard at all,
Yes.
because when I had to like give my presentations and stuff like that, when I used to pitch to my professor if I can do a talk on circular economy and how engineers can help the environment, it was very vague topic for them. They
Mm.
were like, can you come up with something more technical? That is what they were saying and all of it.
Mm.
But yeah, so because I decided that I would want to go into waste as a field, um, so I started searching people on LinkedIn who already are doing something in waste management, got somebody, had a call with them, understood what to do,
Okay,
like
I'll just stop you
understood
there.
that okay, it's yes.
Yes. How did you go to, I mean, understood about waste? Because waste management and waste is something that we're very least bothered about. But how did that arise in you? Like, how did you reach there? Like, that whole concept of waste
Mm,
management.
yes. That is the like whole
Okay,
story
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
we'll skip. We
So
cannot do that.
uh, so when I was in school, I really like going to picnics, and like picnic was a thing when you were in college. Now you say travel, but I really didn't like sitting in class. I always liked going into like being in the ground or either traveling. Um, So at that point, when I was, I think, in first standard or second standard, I could see from the windows of my classroom that there were these seniors who were like coming from a picnic, or like, coming from a small tour or something like that. And I was very interested because one of my classmates' sister was also there. Like, she was like a senior who went to that trip and she was returning. So I was asking what trip were they in, do they get attendance for it. This was like a second grade kid, like asking all of it. So she said yes, it's called Scouts and Guides. So there's this or called the Bharat Scouts and Guides. And us, like, if you are less than fifth standard, like if you have not yet been in fifth grade, then there's something called Red Bulbils. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I understood that these seniors are Scouts and Guides, but you can join Cups and Bulbils, and like they would give you a sheet to fill in the coming 2 months or 1 month. They would like just give you a sheet. I was so very excited for like, I was really waiting for my class teacher to give me that sheet so I can fill it as soon as I can and go to these places. So it was just 100 rupees or 20 rupees, I don't remember. It's a very small fee that we had to pay, but I got into it. I was like, the first class, I was expecting them to take us to somewhere. But they started with, this is our duty, this is our prayer, this is how we do, this is service to the country, service to nature, and stuff like that. So I kind of liked it also because it was a time where you're not really studying, but you're just like learning something new. Like, I just enjoyed that class. And gradually, from Cubs and Bulbers, I became Scouts and Guides. And from Scouts and Guides, didn't really know that we were going to a lot of rallies. We used to have a lot of cleanup drives that was happening. A lot of rallies that we were on, like saving water, saving electricity, or like road safety. These were like very different topics, but always around saving environment or either doing service for the country. And all the batches we used to earn was also, you have to do some good turn, and only then you can actually add it and all of it. So there's also, I didn't know there's a quota for neat people there. So if you so there's levels, like I think you have Raja Puraskar, Rashtrapati, and below that there's another level. Like this level, there's like district level, state level, and national level.
National level.
Uh, so if you go to the national level, if you complete the Rashtrapati Scout or Guide, you'd get the state governor's certificate, like signed certificate.
Okay.
State or president's ka certificate. I think for national it is
Huh.
president's. I'm not very sure.
Mm.
So you should get a code for NEET and CET for it.
Okay.
So a lot of people also joined because of that. But
Huh.
I didn't know if it was that, but I was always part of it because it is to take me out of school for a while. And also I got to like talk to a lot of make a lot of new friends and all of it. And didn't realize, but during that COVID time where I was thinking, what am I doing, what I should be doing, and all of it, made me realize that I was always working in this sector. And I've never thrown waste to the ground. Like, I don't have memory of me throwing waste on the ground. I have memory of me scolding all my friends, my brother, my parents, to like, put it in the dustbin.
Got it.
And I think in my 11th and 12th, for 2 years, yeah, for all those 2 years, we went to, so our district organizer at that time, he's Nitin Amin, he's also still serving in Scouts and Guides. But I have seen him become like from a college student to turn into like the sir who's dedicated all his life being in Scouts and Guides. So that sir, we used to call him Anna, because like a big brother, but he was like, one day, no, I'm not your Anna anymore. I am your sir right now. But he called me one random day and he was like, Anvita, we are like planning to have like a district railway station cleanup. Do you want to join? I said, why not? And it's on Sundays. You just have to come there for 3, 4 hours in the morning, clean the railway station, and just go. Like, because I was doing it all these years in some or the other way, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm doing such a great thing,
Mm-mm-mm.
or oh, this is very important to our city, or it was just another date for me.
Got it.
But because I was doing it, yeah, we did it for almost 2 years, like every day, every week.
Mm.
But irony was like, we used to pick while we used to pick, I've picked diapers, I've picked pads,
Mm.
I've picked I don't know, all the shit that you would find in the railway tracks. And people just throw like the containers with food in
Yes,
it,
yes.
um, random chocolate biscuits, tea
Mm.
packs,
Mm.
everything. So yeah, and in all types of weathers, from summer to winter. Winter we don't have much here, but summer, rainy season, and all of it, like all that for 2 years. The irony was like we used to pick, and these people from the train used to throw. Like they could see us pick, but they used to throw it. And that boiled my blood, because it's not easy to, like, you can do it for 1 day, 2 day and feel
Not
good.
like
But when you be
ignorance,
doing it
but
for a
intentionally that it's happening, right?
exactly, yeah, like you've just cleaned that space and somebody is just like coming and dropping. And there were times when I got my blood boiled, and like you scolded them from where I stood to the train, like, can you not see that I just cleaned it? Like, can you not put it in the dustbin? There is a dustbin in every train couch.
Mm.
But yeah, so I was doing all of this, and I realized in my actually my brother as well, like my me and my brother, we have like lot of deep conversations, which is not really mature, like it is way beyond mature for our age, we think, because sometimes we be talking about, I think it's also because we grew up in a household where we want to, like, we don't want to be here, we want to always like step up. That is why the become rich part also came.
Mm.
So that is where he also gave me some clarity about, you've been always doing something in waste, why don't
Mm.
you also think in that lens as well?
Mm.
And that also gave me a nudge, because I then started journaling a lot, thinking about how and what was I doing and all of it. And that is how I realized that, okay, I should be doing something about waste. So
Mm.
as soon as I got a chance to go back to college,
Mm.
anything and everything I did was related to waste. Um, like, say, the presentations that I had to do,
Mm.
the mini project, major projects I had to do. Also funny that once a lecturer scolded me and my friend because we were like speaking in between of the class, and it was like, you don't know how difficult it is to come stand here and teach you guys. Um, I just didn't say anything, but I think he felt like I mocked him. So he told me, tomorrow you have to give me give the whole class seminar, and I will not start the class until and unless you give the seminar. And I think that was like the most interesting time for me, because what I made is, there's this a project called the Ocean Cleanup, which is by this founder called Boyan
Mm.
Slat. He was 17 when he started this. It's basically a machine which is trying to, not just a machine, it's a project which is crowdsourced, and it is trying to eliminate plastic from
Yes, I've
the
seen it.
Great Pacific.
It goes
Yes.
in the ocean and then
Ha.
collects the plastics and all and
Yes.
can take it back, right? The
Yes.
video was viral,
Yes.
something
It's a
like
very
this.
good,
Yes.
exactly, exactly. It is very good engineering, okay?
Mm.
Because what he did is he used the ocean currents to
Mm.
actually trap the plastic. So what he built
Ah.
is not going against the water flow. It is going through the water flow. So it's like two, like, what do I say? Like a two, I'm sorry, I'm out of words, but
It's okay. I
it's basically
understood.
trapping
Yeah.
the plastic.
Mm.
Yeah, it's also not very small, so fishers can actually escape from
Ha,
it.
ha, ha.
So it's trying to collect the bigger plastics,
Mm.
um, because there are a lot of plastics. Like I've seen commode pictures in the
Mm.
clean up that random pictures of toys and things like this. It's very vague to find a lot of things in the ocean, but yeah. So what I made is I made like a whole presentation on the project. On
Mm.
that project, I told my whole class that I'm very interested. Like I got very fascinated, and I think you guys also will. And instead of taking 10 minutes, I took all the 40 minutes, and made my class also understand about ocean plastics, made my lecturer also understand about ocean plastics, and the project as well. And I think that is when a lot of people also started associating me with, okay, this girl only speaks about waste.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's about your understanding about the field and how getting into this marketing, waste management, sustainability, climate, all things. I understand it just begins in here, right? But what about startups,
Hmm.
like startups, founders, all those things? When did you go into that area? How do you understand them? All these things.
So, me joining NSR Cell is more for me than for the org. So, I want to become a founder. Like, I want to solve for this plastic or
Got it.
waste problem.
Cool. Hmm.
Yes. So this is how I started. Like I wanted to solve for waste, but I knew that I don't know anything about waste. I have done few cleanups, but that doesn't make me an expert. I am very naive, but I'm very ready to learn. So that is how I got into marketing, because that is when I like sat for the whole 2 months, uh, just cold emailing a lot of people on the LinkedIn or like anywhere I could find emails from websites and all of it to like then actually getting a chance at Hasirudala Innovation, which is actually a very great org uh, in waste management space, as in Bangalore or
Yeah.
even India for that matter. It's a very renowned org. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I applied for it, and somehow, like because of through LinkedIn only, I approached one person. He got me meeting with another person, and then suddenly I got meeting with the co-founder,
Hmm.
and that co-founder actually saw my college resume, because you were in college, you don't have any real experience. No? All
Yes.
you have is like some internships that you have done. But I
Hmm.
had this thing where a section of college fest, because I was one of the core team member.
Hmm.
So I had mentioned about that things where I like help. We went to all of these different shops, try to raise funds, ask them for sponsorships and all of it. For that, seeing that, he asked me, "Are you interested in marketing?" I told him like I've during COVID I've learned a bit of digital marketing stuff and all, but I'm very new. So like you give me anything, I will learn. You give me some time, but I will learn on the go. I can learn on the go. And they took a bet on me. And because also they also wanted somebody to help in marketing, I got an internship. I asked for a 6-month internship because one of the mentors who had called during college, he told me that it is all fancy now because you think you're doing great work because you've done something in waste, you've done those cleanup drives, so you might be feeling that, oh, this is very nice, or this is a very
Hmm.
noble problem that I want to solve. But if you only stay there for long enough, you will understand that if you really like it, or are you doing it because you are feeling good about it.
Hmm.
So that is why the 6-month long internship for a very small like money, that was not really enough for me to survive in Bangalore at all. uh, but yeah, that is the 6 month because 6 months for a very small money was a good
Got it.
deal for them as well, and a very good
Hmm.
deal for me because I
Um,
am going and learning from all these people.
mm-hmm.
So that is how I got into marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. So in your LinkedIn, it's written as building, something related to startups and also saving Uru, right? So tell us
Yes.
what is Saving Uru and what do you do? And also, you had worked with in another foundation, which is I am not getting the name of it. So there you got to meet a lot of people. How do they segregate
Okay.
waste? All those things. But before we go in, we just have
Mm-hmm.
like 3 minutes to end this meeting. So after this,
Yes.
we'll just get out of this meeting. I'll end this, and then we'll go with the second link. Cool. Done. Done.
Sure.
Sure.
I will quickly tell about what saving Uru is.
Ha.
So saving Uru is basically Uru in Kannada means, basically town, hometown.
Hmm.
Uru has become Bengaluru for now.
Hmm.
It's Bengaluru, Bangalore. Bengaluru is basically your
Hmm.
hometown or town.
Hmm.
So what I've seen is, though there are a lot of people who are very sustainably aware, Like there are like a lot of people who want to do something for the planet, do not want to throw their waste on the roads and stuff like that, but don't know what to do with their waste, because BBMP is not as good as they sound on paper. The local government is not as good as local municipality is not as good, and I see it in my area. I see it everywhere in Bangalore. There is a problem with waste. So Saving Uru is a platform where you can you if you want to do something for the planet, and if you are in Bangalore, you can. There are like four steps that you can take. You can either segregate your waste, and what happens when you segregate your waste, you actually make your waste valuable. Your waste, when people say waste to value, your waste has only value if your waste has value only because you segregated it. If you mix your waste, then it has zero value. um, so there's steps around segregation, there's step around what to do if there's no collection happening in your area. There is one where you can deposit your cloth waste. Then there is one about what small tiny step you can take, like maybe in the Zepto, when you check out, there is a no bag option actually. Because Zepto is delivering to your doorstep. If it is delivering to your doorstep, you don't need that extra bag, right? Though it is a recycled bag that they are getting it. Recycling a paper itself takes a lot of water. You're just adding more to waste than actually reducing it. So steps like that, and I've kept like four steps, which is do easy for you to do to make actually some change in your Ruru. And I've started with Bangalore because it is easy, because I am in Bangalore and there are a lot of people who want to do something that I can see in Bangalore, but maybe expand it more and all of it. Yeah.
Oh, so we live in PG, right? Because we're far from our home. So how do you think the segregation would should happen? Like, because we have dry waste, wet waste that is there, and it's very limited space. Because you know how the collection happens in rooms and all. So how do you think, and how do you think the
Right, right.
sustainable way is the correct way to do the thing is, because many people would be listening to us, and also how do you think it
Hmm.
can contribute to your community or anything? It is. We'll go with the next recording. It's less than 1 minute. I'll end it up here.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
done.
yes.
So yeah, Anvita, getting back on the question in this second half, what do you have to tell about that?
So if wherever you live, how you dispose your waste is firstly something that you can control of, because once waste is out of your home or out of wherever you are living, then you can't really do much of it.
Mm.
But when you generate waste, there are a lot of things that you can do to actually become sustainable. So
Mm.
say anywhere you are, if you are living in the PG, then there are more chances that you'd be ordering food most of the times.
Mm.
uh, if you are ordering food, having your food, then once you finish your food, make sure that even if you have leftovers, then obviously there should be a wet waste bin where you can throw your wet waste. But once you throw your wet waste, don't directly dispose your container as is. What happens, like, so basically you should actually wash it like how you would wash any other utensils. Just wash it, um, dry it, and then throw it in the bin. So what happens actually if you don't, so your basically there's a vehicle that comes from the municipality which collects all these waste and goes. When it collects dry waste, usually what should be done is this dry waste is given to local, not local, but centralized. There are dry waste collection centers in Bangalore. There are I'm not exactly remembering the number, but every ward has a dry waste collection center. So what this dry waste collection center is basically collection of all the dry waste in the city, and then there they will also segregate the type of dry waste, because yeah, and this is all done by waste pickers. Because when we say plastic gets recycled, it's not like you can recycle all kind of plastics. You can recycle only some sort of plastics at the moment, and for
Like
that to happen also you have to, sorry.
plastics, like what are the?
your water bottle plastics, like
Okay. Ha
so
ha ha.
basically I'm trying to see if this so say these kinds of plastic bags, um these kind, I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah,
think,
yeah, I can
so
see. I
it's
can see.
basically normal, yeah. So if you, in any plastic item that you have, you should find something like this. It's sorry, it's basically a recycled symbol and a
Ha.
number
Yeah, yeah.
inside it.
Ha. Okay, got
Okay,
it. Ha.
you might have observed that.
Yes.
So basically, that is RIC, which is resin identification code.
Okay.
Resin is a type of plastic, like the type of resin that is used to make this kind
Got
of
it.
plastic. Over here, it is set 4, which is LDP, which is
Ha.
again low density polyethylene. Basically, it is also found in milk packets and all of it.
Hmm.
So recycling this type of plastic is a bit difficult, but there are still value chains where people still recycle. But for that, you should collect only these type of plastics, and only clean plastics. If you have milk, so
Hmm.
for example, in milk plastics, what we do, we put the milk and then we just throw the milk packets out.
You should clean the
So
milk
when that,
packets and then.
exactly, and dry it, and then
Yes.
only put it, because
Hmm.
otherwise when it reaches the dry waste collection center, it reaches, let's say, in 2 days or 3 days time, or even if it reaches, like, after
Hmm.
several hours, it still starts to accumulate a lot of bacteria. There's a lot of smell to it,
Hmm.
and you can't really use that to recycle because it will
Hmm.
spoil the whole supply.
Got
Like
it.
you would have, like, yeah, clean plastics one side, and then you add this plastic, it'll just ruin the whole batch. So people just tend to avoid it, and it's also very inhuman for the waste speakers dealing with it.
Hmm.
So first thing, wash all your dabbas. That is one thing that you can do. Second thing, try to consume less, because you, if you're going to get fruits,
Correct.
you're going to get fruits to
Hmm.
the market, carry a bag. Why are you going to
Yeah.
go and carry extra bags? These are one thing. Then you could also, like, if you're staying in PG, then, and also if you like fashion a lot, you
Hmm.
might be buying a lot of new clothes, and what happens
Correct.
to these old clothes? They're just there. But if you're living in big cities, or tier 1 or metro cities, then there's always organizations, or there's always
Yes.
dry
Yes.
waste
Yes.
collection centers where you can go and give it,
Hmm.
and they either recycle it, send it to recycling, which is I think not a good option right now, because it's very hard to recycle textile as of now. But you can actually donate it to people, or give it second, and you can actually share it with your friends.
Hmm.
You can also, this if you're in corporate, there might be a assumption that you should be always wearing new clothes or different types of clothes, and repeating usually does not feel a good option. Like if you repeat a cloth that you've been wearing last Monday, you'd feel like, oh shit, I just wore it last Monday. But
Hmm.
what is the problem with it? Like,
Correct.
we are so used to fast fashion,
Huh.
things like that. There's very small things. You can mend your footways if they are gone. Like, say you're wearing a sandal and like one of it came out, you can actually search for a cobbler and get it, like, mended. uh, Things like this, where you try to generate less waste.
Hmm.
And if, even if you're generating, see how you can, try not to see. One thing that you have to keep in mind is, once you put the waste in the dustbin, or put
Hmm.
it out from your system, like from your control,
Hmm.
then either ending up in a landfill, if you are not giving it to the right people. It is ending up in the landfill, or it is getting burnt, or it is eventually causing problem. So
Got it.
whenever you throw something to the dustbin, remember, if it is the last thing you can do, if it is the last thing you can do, then okay, you might have done all your part.
Hmm.
But no, it is something that still can be done, then you should be thinking about it that
So
way.
it's mostly like about the mindset that people on and the pressure that we have, the pressure to follow the trend.
Yes,
Every now and then there are trends happening. You open Instagram, you see reels,
very,
then you're behind some trends. So whatever you earn, you
yes.
gotta spend on that. Similar, it's gonna accumulate, and this whole cycle is being it's been going on from some time. And I believe
Yes.
if one person, if maybe say I stop buying this after hearing to this podcast and feel like to do a change to the society, then I think that's a good thing that will happen, and the cycle continues and we are more aware of what's happening, like everything all around. So that's
Right.
amazing thing, because these days, you don't see people doing all these things. They're either, I'm not defaming anyone, I'm not blaming someone, but they're all busy with other stuffs in life. But where you choose to do this was the reason I got you, like, come to my podcast, let's do an episode, because people should be aware of what we're doing. Right,
Hmm.
because I was trying to adopt some methods, adopt some things, like about the waste and about small stuffs, like incorporating into my daily life as I came to Bangalore and all. So that's when I could also relate, and I was thinking how to adopt more, how to do more stuff, so that I'll be like less accountable but more responsible enough. So that way, so that was an understanding that you gave us. Thank you so much. So we'll be almost winding it up, because what I wanted to bring out was this waste management sphere of it, because people should be aware of it, and a very big appreciation from my end to you, because you're actually doing a very good thing in here.
Thank you.
And thanks for giving me the time to ask you questions about the same thing and to know about all these things. So before we wind up, let me know your thoughts on what do you think about this podcast? How do you what does you feel coming to my podcast and all those things?
Oh, before I tell about the podcast, can you I say one thing about
Yes,
waste
yes. We're not
management more?
ending. There are a few more
Uh,
things coming up, but yeah, I just want
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, what I am doing is a very, very small part, and it is also because of a lot of awareness that is given to me when in my school days.
Mm,
So I think it is just embedded in me at a very young age.
mm.
But I would really want to appreciate or bring the limelight to the spotlight to the waste pickers,
Correct.
because today, if there is recycling happening, it
Mm,
is because lot of years before, decades before,
mm,
waste pickers informally were doing all of it, because for them that was livelihood. For us it might be a passion project, for them it was a livelihood.
mm,
um, and so what I want to be saying is, it's so if you feel that, if in Bangalore also, when you wake up in the morning, if there's a Paura Karmika, which is a waste picker who comes and cleans your city even before you go to the office. Like there are people on the road at 5, 6, 7 a.m., and
mm,
it is because of them that there's a lot of waste that is cleared, the lot of waste that is being kept out of landfill.
mm,
So my like anytime I also learned about this because
mm,
when I came to Bangalore, I understood it because of the previous organization I was working in.
mm.
But yeah, so it's the waste pickers who are like actually
The real heroes
doing
behind the
everything,
scene. Yeah,
the
got it.
real heroes. Yes.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
putting the light on them so that people understand their hard work, what are they going through, and just lessen the load on them also, and be more responsible enough. And hoping
Yes, and
that,
respect
yeah,
them more.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, correct. Yeah.
Yes. And
So
again, coming back to your podcast, like what did I feel about all of this?
uh,
It felt really, so anytime I get a chance to talk to people like you, or even like, today being in this podcast, it always helps me, like, go back, connect the dots, because all of what I did during my school days, the, chance of not actually doing well in my plus two,
mm,
the COVID that happened gave me a time to think about waste. And then actually skipping the placements and like coming to Bangalore with literally very salary to survive. Uh, so all of this makes me, sometimes when we at this point, I have like 10 things that I've not done yet.
mm,
Like there's like things that I've not done, and I'm always feeling like, shit, there's so much to do and I've not done anything. What am I doing in life and all of it? But when I have conversations with people like you, or even when I was talking to you today, it made me realize that, life is happening. And like the quote by Steve Jobs, like, you'll not understand what you'll be doing, but if you connect the dots, you really understand that you have come a long
a
journey.
long way.
Um, yeah, like. I'm 24 right now, but it still feels like okay, this life has happened so much.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, like one thing led to another, but it made me realize that I've also come through a journey,
Mm.
and it made me very happy because you told me that you're going to inculcate some of what you'd be learning or
Mm.
what you understand here in today's podcast in your life. That I am my job is done here. Like if one person is doing
Mm.
something to the environment because they heard something from me, uh, that's all I need. Like
Got it.
if I could just inspire one person to do something, that is awesome. And I really appreciate you for asking me to do this. I was really nervous because I was not thinking what will I be saying, because I don't really have a life story to tell.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you so much for this.
So previously also this is how the podcast goes. Like I make sure that the guest is comfortable enough so that it is a heart to heart conversation and very high end. If I'm very nervous enough, I'll have few questions. But I don't go back to the question because I feel that's so much framed. So that's almost scripted.
Hmm.
So we don't have that
Right.
flow through to speak to. So I just put
Hmm.
those things away and just go ahead with what I have. So thank you so much, Anvita, for joining
Hmm.
us. And the last question I will ask you is, if someone who's listening to this want to have a career in sustainability, climate, all those things, and they're interested and they're not having a way to go forward, what kind of internships do you prefer them? How do you advise them? Or yeah, all those things, career centric.
I don't know, Ahad, but I will tell you what I did. I already told it, but if you're interested in one particular type of problem in the whole sustainability space, because I chose waste,
Mm.
somebody might choose water, somebody might choose mobility, somebody would choose, say, air. Like, there you might pick parts of environment,
Mm.
um, and every part of environment, thank god for today, has a lot of organization that have been working
Mm.
specifically for those particular problems. Like how I got for waste management, there are organizations, startups that work for, say, water management. There are startups that works on mobility, mobility in the sense how to make easy public transport easy for people.
Mm.
And also, what I realized after joining my previous org was there's a lot of fellowships that is available for people who want to step in, and
Mm.
young fellows. Like I myself got into two fellowships.
Mm.
um, but yeah, so if you are a college student right now, or you're somebody who who is or wants to do something in sustainability,
Mm.
first thing is to try to meet people who are already in this field,
Mm.
who are also doing what you want to be doing. Say for somebody who is working in waste management, if you want to be doing something in waste, then
Mm.
find people who are working in waste management, or find organizations that is working in waste management, and try to reach out to both these people.
Mm.
If you are into water, and same, like I feel,
Mm.
if you're in metro cities, then
It's
take
fine.
advantage of going to a lot of events
Mm.
where it's again networking in itself.
Mm.
Because for me, I landed both the first job through networking, second job
Mm.
because I was part of one of the, like I got introduced because I was in this field for very long. I got to know that there is an org like an SR cell, and all of it. So
Mm.
it's just that you start searching for knowledge, and
It comes to.
you'd actually find a lot of it. Yes.
So, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Anvita, for your valuable time. I hope this episode was completely something that was different in an aspect that it is kind of an awareness to so many people listening, also because it will throw light to them that this is something that's very important, that's crucial, that we must be looking into it very soon before it destroys us. Because, yeah,
Hmm.
so thank you so much for joining me today. And since I had no plans to start the podcast again, but listening to your story, I was like, yes, I had to do an episode today. That's why I got into this. So thank you so much for the energy, the fire, the everything that you have in us, which pushed me also to kickstart with another episode also. So keep doing what you're doing and keep educating us also. We'll be doing something that's possible from our end as of now, and hope this will make a change in the society. So thank you so much for joining me. Since It's the sixth episode in the second series known as Where Reminiscence Shines. I hope the reminiscence in your life really shine today. And since it's completely different angle of things also, I believe this also put some experience, give you some experience that's useful enough to carry forward, to let people know who Anvita is also. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And anyone who's listening, if you want to connect with us, I mean, LinkedIn is the platform. So please do reach out to Anvita also. And you can find out her LinkedIn. Her name is PN Anvitha, who works in NSR Cell, IMB. So thanks for listening to us. Thank you. This is the host of the show, Neetu Sherian, signing off.
Thank you.